Hello, my name is Hudson Waddles. I am a sophomore at Eau Claire University, and this semester I am studying abroad in Japan at Kansai Gaida. Welcome back to my daily, not so daily, uh, check in for school to keep track of all the stuff that I've done, stuff that I will do, and maybe inspire someone else to travel abroad, which I highly recommend. Today is Thursday. I missed Wednesday. Hi. um, I have no excuse for yesterday aside from the fact that I collapsed and just tapped out. Yesterday I had Japanese one, my Japanese class. I'll have it again tomorrow. And I did basically studying all day. I was just doing Japanese. I had stuff playing in the background when I was not in class, but we were doing numbers in class, and we turned in our first thing of homework, which wasn't so bad. Wasn't bad. It's super easy. It's just like kind of copying and memorization. So it comes and it goes, and like it gets worse as you go on. Um, we did numbers and we did pronunciation for hiragana, and we practiced writing. We even got like a little, kind of like a second grade little penmanship sheet to practice tracing and stuff. So it was nice, actually. It was really entertaining. And I'm not saying I have the mentality of a second-year-old, but if that's what comes out, then here we go. But the rest of the day, I was legitimately just studying Japanese and just studying hiragana. We did the main vowels: I, E, no, U, O. So U, E, O, and O. And then we did all of the consonant sounds that pair with those vowels for K, S, and T. And next time, I believe tomorrow, we're going to be doing like N, H, and then everything else comes after that, like G, D, T. No, I already did T. G, Z, D, B, and H. So those are the next consonant sounds. We also have like R, M, and N. So I believe that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, as well as our first vocabulary quiz. So our first hiragana quiz. And I've been studying more today as well. So hopefully we'll see improvements as time goes on. I really would like to start fully comprehending everything. It's a super fun language, and I can recognize a lot of hiragana characters, but I'm nowhere near as proficient as I would like to be, or inevitably will be. I'm going to see maybe if I can take Japanese 2 next semester at Eau Claire, and we'll see how that happens, but who knows. Aside from Japanese, yesterday I really didn't do anything else, but I was exhausted mentally, and I just tapped out early, so I apologize for not recording. But um, after yesterday was today, and I woke up a little later. I woke up actually earlier than my alarm, and uh, got up. I had purchased a, rice ball yesterday, so I had that for breakfast, and I went to my cuisine class. That was the first little bit that we've actually had more of a lecture style class. So that was entertaining to see how, as our teacher got into the groove of things and see how everything turned out from that. He is still figuring out kind of like the slide presentation, but it also might be because the overhead projector is ancient and it makes 10 little words look like smudge marks on a screen. So that's not all entirely his fault. Mostly the program and the technology that he's using, but he'll figure it out soon. I don't know. Hopefully, I guess. Otherwise, we're gonna have to take what he says instead of reading the notes that he has already prepared. So we'll find out. Today was more of a introductory, secondary introduction, kind of. So it was more geography and kind of regions based, and it was saying, okay, so we have stuff here. We have things that are running from all over the world. We have things that are running from all over different prefectures. They're how things, not exactly how things are used, but more like what things are used. We have like different broths and stuff, different vegetables that we're using. Most meats, um, Japan doesn't have the actual size or terrain to harvest majority of kind of like common crops in America. Uh, and for the same reason, they don't have the space to raise livestock. So most beef and like mutton and pork are all very, very minimal. However, they are still present. They're just not as widely sold and generous, you could say, as they are in the Americas. And some of those meats are also imported too. The primary cooking is what is found in the sea, so fishing and whatever they can find in the sea. Turns out seaweed actually has a higher shelf life and nutrient content than most vegetables that we have today. We know. Not to mention there's like 1,000 different species, but that's just because no one eats seaweed. It has weeds in the name, so that's just me. However, I will say that with trying more rice balls, seaweed is not my least favorite thing anymore. It's not awful. It's not great. But when there's a little bit of flavor to it and not just crunchy leaves, it's not so bad. In my break today, I did my tomorrow's homework for my hiragana work, my Japanese homework, and I studied some more and then just kind of hung out for the extra hour. Went over to building 3, and I should say I did play hero this morning. I played Good Samaritan. There was a young woman from Turkey that I found out that didn't have an umbrella, and it was pouring buckets on and off all day. So I decided to be nice and share my umbrella, and had a fun little chat on the way to the ICC building. I forgot her name already, and I feel bad, but I don't remember her name. I don't remember anything about her. I don't know if she's from Turkey, and that she forgot an umbrella because she was using a hoodie as a little tarp. So, granted, my right shoulder was wet for the majority of the morning, but you know what? I got to be nice. And I have a reputation, so it's never happening again. Just kidding. I don't have a reputation. It'll probably happen again. I'm. Darn you, morals. But I did see her when I was coming out of class. I don't know if she saw me, but it was no longer raining, so I no longer felt the need to be not nice, but I don't know. It was cool that she was from Turkey. That was the majority of my noticing kind of. That's the extent of my observation was that she's Turkey. So after I walked over to building 3 from the ICC, which is effectively building 6 and like the furthest away from everything, of course, but walked up, and in my monsters and ghosts class, we started learning about actual monsters and ghosts. We had a creation story today, kind of the background information about yokai, which the base for yo is kind of like um, spirits, I believe. And then kai is unusual or strange or no, I apologize. Yo is alluring in kind of like a mystical, bewitching sense. So more of a negative than enchanting, sort of toxically alluring. So, and then kai is the root, but it's the symbol for strange. Their characters. Yokai is spelled specifically with kanji, and the kanji symbols for the both of them are alluring and um, strange. And then kai turns out to be another similar and um, very common used phrase for a lot of other strange kind of words. You have it's the same root word in other words. You have, for example, kaibetsu, which is strange beast. No, kaiju is strange beast, and that's more monstrous, like monster. Kaiju would be kind of like Godzilla. So it's a strange, monstrous beast. And then you have Kaibetsu, which is more demony, more monstery than just a huge towering monster. So it's more beastly. We learned about the Rengu, which is a crow spirit that had a lot of history and storytelling behind it, that primarily stole children, and just kind of swooped down, picked them up, and took them off to the mountains for bird training. Who knows? There is nail polish in my nails. That's gonna be frustrating. Not like obviously is there, but it's like in my whatever. But then eventually they were referenced and they were kind of recognized similarly with more mountain monks, and those monks had a certain level of reverence behind them eventually, and then some of those monks used that fame to swindle people, and they were thought to have like magical powers or special abilities that were up in the mountains because they were studying to be monkly or whatever. And the same Rengu that were up in those mountains were then specifically related to them in a negative sense. So they were the troublemakers of the mountain monk. So they would take salt to give them not the word that I'm looking for, but give them struggles and make their lives difficult. And then through that kind of similar connotation, the Rangu that were the birds began to kind of evolve in popular belief, and then they kind of took on a more mountain man kind of appearance, and they got a Yumi Shoma mask, which is kind of like a very very furrowed browed, very angry looking man mask with a large nose, and that was like their mountain men kind of monk mask for that specific monster. And then those monsters began to take the mountain men's further up into the mountains and make them drink lead, as per the stories told. So they went from the troublemakers to the punishers, and like the retribution kind of for all wicked monks. And then that gave birth to another myth that there was a god of those, a god of kind of punishment, specifically the god of like Renku, and they would have like a little posse of crow demons that would dish out judgment and justice. So pretty cool, actually. We learned a little bit about the slit mouth woman too, who is a also I asked a question that I actually found quite interesting. It was mentioning in like Godzilla, and it was I asked what it was that I asked was, are yokai the yokai defined by more characteristics or timing? Because our professor said that more ancient and more kind of historical, more generationally passed down stories of malevolent spirits were considered yokai, and the newer ones are considered more monstrous or commercialized or created by anime and manga and just TV, just kind of marketed monsters just to be monsters. And he said that actually yokai aren't just in this time period, and they're actually more characteristics defined versus time frame defined. So what I got from that is that there's a lesson behind each created monster, which is why you have the term kind of like alluring in the front of it. So they have to be defined by a specific lesson or effect that they have on a human being, which would explain between the slit mouth woman, who is a Japanese spirit that wears a mask, and they would frighten children from wandering off of path and not going straight home after school. They would approach these kids being like, "Am I pretty? Because it'd be like, yeah, if the kid said yes, then they would remove the mask and there would be a mouth cut from ear to ear and with like fangs, and the jaw would literally drop and they would either devour the kid or scare the living daylights out of them. So stay in school or you're going to get eaten by a monster. Although in today's society, that might not be a negative thing because people are weird nowadays. But this is a family show, so we're not going to talk about it. Devil woman with fangs, and yeah, that's about it. It's the fangs in the mouth. It's kind of scary smile, Joker smile. But aside from that, that really has been the extent of my day. That's not true. I had to buy toothpaste today. I actually purchased something that wasn't food today, or yeah, or completely useless. Because now this has use, and it took me a lot longer than I'd care to admit, because I still can't read any of that. I don't know if you can. It's mirrored, so it's gonna be extra hard now. This is the start where you start off. This is the start where you start off. Oh, it's upside down now. That's why. I know what that means. That is da. So there's a symbol here that is the edited version of ta, and ta is like a ta has like, I can't tell how this is gonna show up on a mirrored, but it's a line. It's like a T and it has like two dashes next to it on the right, and it's like it. I kind of imagine it like it's you're writing TA and then you get lazy, so you don't finish the whole English sound of it. You just kind of finish like a ta. It's just a sound instead of a TA like a written word. And then to hiragana is interesting. And so I believe katakana follows some similar rules, but symbols are used for soft consonants, and then additional marks are made to the same symbols to represent hard consonant sounds. So G and K. So K would be the soft sound, G would be the hard sound. S and Z, T and D, and then H and B would be the soft and then the hard. H is also interesting considering that if you write most of the little dashes that are marked, most of the symbols for the soft consonants are marked by two little dashes, like little quotation marks, and that translates it from a soft sound to a hard sound. For H, it not only translates to a hard sound with as B, but also if you write a little circle in place of the quotation mark symbol, it translates it into P. So you have, instead of a two dash hard defined consonant, you have a rounded sound, which is more a p than a h. So it mixes the two kind of, it makes it hard and so makes it soft at the same time, which I think is an interesting characteristic of that specific label. But that's just my 2 cents about my week's worth of learning this new language. So however you care to define my rambling is really what it is. So, but I believe that's actually going to be it for me today. I feel like these are going to be shorter episodes every time when I look back down at the clock and it's like, oh, hey, you got 20 minutes in. So I'm trying to think of anything else that I have of note. I boiled eggs yesterday. I should mention that. I actually did that. I've never done that before on my own. They make my fridge stink something awful, which I didn't expect to happen, but I have hard-boiled eggs now. I've got 5 more. I've already eaten one with ramen, which is a brilliant idea, by the way. Hard-boiled eggs and just putting like just a half an egg inside ramen. It was tight. I've done it before, and now I can say that I've done it and made it on my own too. So pretty cool. I'm going to be doing it again because eggs are very filling, especially to me for whatever reason, and I'm going to be using that as my breakfast material in place of yogurt and chocolate chip breadsticks. So I think I found the better alternative. The only issue is I don't like hard-boiled eggs, like on their own. So either I find a way to choke it down, or something else to see. And I keep looking around my desk looking to find something to season with. Like, oh yeah, toothpaste. That'll do it. That's how my ass going. Yes, that's going to be my morning tomorrow. And I have my first class of Eastern medicine. So that'll be interesting. That's a double period. So I'm going to be hungry tomorrow night. So, yeah, but we'll see how it goes. I believe also at 10:30 I can also meet with um, my kendo group for the first time, which is exciting. But we'll see how it turns out. It's in the afternoons of the evening. I missed it the first time on Wednesday. I didn't expect it to be in the afternoon. And I texted the person I've been in contact with. I'm like, hey, just checking in 10:30 to 10:30. And they're like, yep, we're practicing now. Completely forgetting that they use military time and more of a 24-hour clock here. So if they would have said 10:30, it would have been like 2200 hours, 30 minutes. And 22:30, not 10:30 p.m. So I missed my first opportunity for that one. But tomorrow, what time is it? It's 11:30. It's 11:30. So I believe it is 9:30 in the morning back at home. But that's all for me for today. I will probably catch you up tomorrow, especially my first day of Eastern medicine. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these daily. They might turn into weekly because I keep forgetting, and then ending up catching up 2 days is 2 total days anyways. So if I can report business as usual and report and kind of like just pop up any random things and things of interest, I might have to start doing weekly ones because I don't want to keep forgetting. You know what? I'll do daily as long as I can. Daily. But that's going to be it for me today. So thank you for stopping by. Thanks for listening. And I will see you tomorrow. Definitely see you tomorrow. So thank you. Have a good day, night. All the good stuff. To everybody having their first day of school tomorrow, good luck. Stay in school. If you're lactose intolerant, don't drink a glass of milk. I don't know why that was relevant. I'm losing it. I'm sleeping. I really am. But thank you. Have a good night. Have a good day. Arigato.